Hi, welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol and I'll be your host today. And I put down the wrong time for this thing. I had forgotten my own self that we had switched to 3:40 time with the time change. So it's scheduled for 4:40. So I'm not upset that nobody's here because it's my own fault. So I'm just going to read then and hope that there'll be some people that show up because, you know, like I said, it's my own fault. It's my own fault. Solving life's problems. When you take an addictive behavior out of your life, you will still have your share of difficulties, but without the extra problems and complications the addictive behavior adds. One life skill we can all use is problem solving, breaking down paralyzing problems into smaller, manageable steps. Managing problems becomes easier once you accept that there will be people who will never accept that you've changed. And there are and always will be some situations that are beyond our control. You may have acted out because problems overwhelmed you and you saw no solution except escape through your addictive behavior. A big part of managing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors is finding a way through life's problems rather than around them. Having a more positive outlook and accepting things for what they are can save you a lot of trouble and worry. By stubbornly refusing to let your emotions take over, problem solving gets easier. Remember the 3 P's. No, it's not price, price, and price. It's practice, patience, and persistence. Practice, patience, and persistence. Exercise. 5 steps of problem solving. Consider using this model for solving problems. Define the problem. You can't solve a problem that you haven't defined. It's a common human trait to assume we know what the problem is, then jump to conclusions and solutions. Some problems are so large they can't be solved until you break them down. You can't solve world hunger, but you can feed a homeless family. Defining a problem involves 2 steps. A, understanding its specific nature, and B, identifying workable solutions. If your problem is finding a new place to live because you've been evicted, the solution is straightforward. If your problem is a teenage daughter who keeps running away, it may take time to define the root problem and even longer to solve it. Brainstorm. Come up with as many solutions to the problem as you can. You can do this alone, with a friend or therapist, or in a smart meeting. The secret is to let ideas flow without judging or discussing them. The secret is to let ideas flow without judging or discussing them. Be wild, push the envelope, be open to all ideas. Do this until you run out of ideas. The main rule is don't analyze or judge the ideas. Don't let anyone say, that won't work. I tried that once during brainstorming. Okay. Ideas, even bizarre ones, may stimulate your thinking and lead you to ideas that can work. Let them build on each other. You'll assess them in the next step, which is 3, evaluate. Use a scale from 0 to 10 to rate each idea. How realistic is it? How likely is it to work? Does the solution have rewards? What are the consequences? Can I afford it? If an idea scores 0, throw it out, but be careful not to judge it too quickly. An idea that seems unworkable or too out there at first may look more reasonable the longer you think about it. If you have assumptions about any of the ideas, you may need to gather more information before you rate it to determine if your assumption is true or false. 4, select. You've evaluated and rated your ideas. Now select one and try it. What's most important is that you have thought through your choices, something you may not have a lot of experience doing. Create a written plan. Most likely, that's number 5. Most likely, you'll get better results if you write down your plan instead of just carrying it around in your head. Write down the solution you choose and how you will implement it. Write the start date and location and everything you'll need to make the solution successful. You can use the change plan worksheet, page 18, for this. Put your plan into action. Record your results every day if appropriate. Is your plan working? Did you modify it? Compare your results with your expectations. It's likely that your results are different from what you wanted or expected. Can you adjust your plan? Should you try a different solution? Ask others for their ideas or discuss it in a SMART meeting. Getting quick feedback on your plan will help you stay focused on solving your original problem. Like most things in recovery, this takes practice. Like all skill building, it helps to find people who will give you honest feedback while supporting you. You'll make mistakes. You'll get discouraged. Don't give up. And don't label yourself a failure. With time and effort, healthy problem solving will become second nature to you. Okay. And how long is our, yeah, we'll go there. We're going to go into strategy relapse prevention. You'll recall from chapter 2 that a lapse is a short slip into old behaviors. Relapse is prolonged return to your old way of life. A drunken night versus a months-long return to using alcohol, for example. If you consider yourself recovered, watch out for complacency. Remember where you have been and what you've achieved forever. You will need to think carefully and honestly about how vulnerable you may still be and be appropriately vigilant. A period of abstinence may also lead you to think you have regained control and can now re-engage in moderate use. Beware of this thinking. It's an excuse to use. Doing an ABC, I've regained control thinking, may help you maintain your motivation and prevent lapses or relapses. Body systems have memory. So even if you're abstinent for a long time, then lapse or relapse, you may engage in your addictive behavior with more intensity. This is called the abstinence violation effect. SMART considers lapses and relapses as temporary setbacks in recovery, which is healthy. If you have a lapse or relapse, you can learn from it. Use it to develop more strategies to avoid another one. And I'm here alone. Just me and my zero eye here. So sorry about the time mix-up, guys. It's not really a meeting if people aren't here, you know? So what I might do is I might put the Scoville brothers on here. Yeah, why not? Why not?
I did destroy the nuts. You know, I don't know if you ever heard the rest of the story, Ruthie.
Come on now. Hey, no. That's not what we're doing. We're doing this. Come on.
Oh, so Nugs said, you beat your brother's record by a minute or something like that. And I said, yeah, but he didn't drink anything. I thought honestly, I had to do the rest of the show. It's going to be 30 minutes. I couldn't go to the bathroom. So I just threw back the tincture. And it was that jacked up tincture that we had made.
You're probably mad at me about that.
Well, what happened then was I got cramps right after the show. And the show was an hour long. So it wasn't like I went and vomited anything. There was no chance for any of that. But I spent 8 hours in the worst calf cramps of my life. I couldn't even straighten my body out. I wanted to leave, but I couldn't stand up. I wanted to go to the hospital. It was terrible.
Oh, that's such a good meat stick.
It's hot. It's good though.
1 to 10. Where'd you put
it? Was like 42 to 40. Yeah, it might have been 43 seconds, not 53.
What would it be to you, heat-wise?
What I just ate?
Yeah.
6.
What did I tell you? The stuff you had there was a 3 or 4. I said it's going to be a couple points higher. Trust me, I don't ever.
Right. Hope you got no tins of Systroming or Fortnite eggs in there. It's funny you should say that, Steve.
We don't. But you know what we do have, which she really is cute.
You know what we do have? Cat in the basket. All kinds of it.
So we don't have any fish that's been sitting around for
kind of
just shy of a fortnight.
That's such a good meat stick. It is a bit of a scary sentence. Hello, Carol Klingon Targ Herder.
Hello. Hello.
So here's what we do have, though. We have an unknown salted.
Hey,
fish.
Cosmic Christie. Welcome to the
Do you think
Scoville
it's
Show.
adequate to do on a show like this, or would that be not cool?
No, it
You're
wouldn't,
such
it wouldn't
a
be good.
sissy.
It wouldn't be good to do on a show like this. I don't think that's a good idea.
So yeah, Christy, I
have
put
an
down the wrong
excellent
time,
Let's change the subject.
and I said that I'd be
Hanson,
starting
what's
an
on it?
hour
We have
later.
this
I
fish,
just,
I
I
don't
just
really know what it is.
automatically referred to
We got
It
it.
looks really disgusting.
feed.
We got it at the Asian store.
Didn't realize I'd done it till I
When
got
I was there,
here.
I said, "What's the grossest thing you got?" That
Go
most
on, and so
Americans
nobody
would
was
not
here,
want
and so
to eat.
well,
So he hooked
I
us
don't
up, and
Little Brothers.
let me see how we do this.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make sure you're.
That's
in
what I
the
was
center.
watching when I was getting
Now
ready to go
you're a little
on.
more center.
I was playing with the cat. She loves this watch.
Hello,
Ruthie,
Steve.
my husband and I
Brother.
just watched you
Sorry,
two
let me
Mr. Strong
calm me down here.
Really,
Would it have been the first one or the second one?
because we have.
Oh, for God's
Because
sake!
we've done it a
How do I
couple
do
of times.
this?
I think that the
Let me.
I think that the
How do I get rid of that?
Get rid of what?
I got Tommy and Johnny up here on the screen.
Yeah, you do, because I put them there.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize what I had done with scheduling the meeting. I just my autopilot brain went into effect, and I just automatically did the 4:40 schedule, forgetting that I had needed to put in the 3:40 as a schedule instead. So I got here at 3:40 and realized what I had done, and decided to go live anyway, and read a little from the Smart Recovery Handbook here.
Oh,
And,
well, if you'd like to rehash, I'm ready.
you know, and so nobody was here, so I just decided to put the Scoville brothers on.
Oh, they're entertaining today.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
So should I go ahead and just continue with that? Because
Yeah, please.
okay.
That's why I come here. One of the reasons.
is being a criminal.
Yeah.
Sadly, the bank robbery thing and all of that is. Yesterday, I had a great interview over on Surviving the
you
Survivor.
You want
from the
monster?
beginning,
We just
didn't
truly
you?
break out the monsters.
Huh?
I can do a pit
You
stop.
played it
grab a
from the
monster,
beginning,
play back.
didn't you?
Need to do a pit stop.
No,
You go
I
first.
think so.
The
You wanna
live
grab
Tommy
you
and
want
Johnny.
monster? You want to do coffee?
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like I'm at the. It looks like I'm at the end, or where the current where
Okay,
it
do
is
the monster.
currently.
No. Pit stop.
No, that was that.
So the
bank
century
robbery
egg.
thing.
Did they log
Christy.
off?
No,
No, the
no,
first
they're
time I
going
did it twice.
They're going
It's
for
once
22
before.
hours today.
that I'm
The first time I did it, no one said, "Hey, you
Anyway.
need to boil this thing." When I bought it, it wasn't even in the chilled section. It was on a shelf, so I didn't think it needed to be. I figured it was done.
No,
already.
yeah, this is
So we
this is
opened it
like
up.
20 minutes ago.
It's not like it. Look, if you open, get an egg that's not hard boiled. You crack it. It just
Maybe if you do
just
this.
the white is.
Let's see.
But when I cut the first one open, chills.
Nope, that's the current. That's where we're at.
When I cut it open, it was like gross on the inside. I didn't know.
Because I've already heard this.
And then so I did with Tommy. Yes, White Rabbit. TV.
Oh, maybe it is.
Didn't I remember when I said I want to hear her sing White Rabbit?
Yeah.
Oh, like I paid to hear that. I'm just.
Well, we don't have to. We don't have to keep doing that.
No.
Let me get that off of there.
I came here for some book learning, lady.
Okay, well, I already read from the book, man. So I guess I could just keep reading and you can just go back and listen to that other part so that, you know, anybody that wants to watch the replay doesn't have to sit through the same thing again.
So Christy said, I just checked and it seemed the same.
Yeah.
Hi, Christy. How are you?
Oh, hello. We can do this.
Yeah, because you got
everybody's probably still over at the over on the Johnny and Steve show, or Johnny and
Tommy.
Got Steve on the braino.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Anyway, the Tommy and Johnny show. So that's probably where everybody is, and maybe that's where they were going to be anyway.
No, cool. I was here, and I'm like, I got to be back later. I got to go do a Targ Herder show, and they said, look, we're going to be on 24 hours, so if you guys need to go somewhere and come back later, go ahead and do it.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so we are at I stopped at relapse prevention, so I'm going to go into danger situations from there. A lapse or relapse can happen without having an urge. Huh?
What?
There are 6 danger situations that may set you up for this. Recognize them so you can be prepared. You may prepare for them by going over your core values, goals, and developing a plan for these situations. The danger situations are association, exposure to something that was a trigger in the past, or being in situations in which you used in the past. Number 2, boredom, big one. The discomfort of boredom may bring up old thinking patterns. 3, emotions. Strong emotions may catapult you into old coping methods. 4, fantasy. Romanticizing the fun parts of your addictive behaviors.
Oh, that was a big time one for me.
Yeah. 5, frustration. Like other strong emotions, frustration may hurl you backward to old ways of coping. 6, opportunity. A time when there is seemingly no downside to acting out and no one will know but you. Opportunity is a powerful enticement. Huh.
I don't buy that one for some reason.
Why not?
Because I've had countless opportunities and didn't. Well, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. It just hasn't happened.
Do you think that if you were not in your current health situation,
good question,
you might that might be different?
I do not have an answer for that. It might be different. If it wouldn't kill me, I don't know. I might be like you were a couple weeks ago, and just wonder, I wonder if this will still have the same effect on me, which is have one and off to the races. But
yeah,
even if I had 1 or 2 and stopped there, the 1 or 2 would turn into 2 or 3, and then 3 and 4, and then 4 and 5, and hi.
How you doing, Christy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, we're doing good too. I had mindlessly scheduled it at 4:40 instead of 3:40 my time.
Oh no.
So I didn't realize it till I was getting ready to go on. So I just
Uh-huh.
decided to go on anyway. I was a little late, but I did decide to go on.
Well, hey. Well, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
so I just read to myself from the Smart Handbook, and then when there was zero by the eyeball over there, as in zero people watching, hell, I'll just put on this Tommy and Johnny show, and
There you go.
Well, yeah, because I came on and it said 5:40, and I'm like, I'm not going to wait for an hour. I'm going to go back to their show. And then you popped in and said, "Oops, scheduled my show. I'm going to put up the link or whatever it was you said." And then I'm like, "All right, I'll go back and see if she's on."
Yeah. Well, and here I thought I was going to be like super, super late. I always joke around that my energy is like, have you seen Bob the Cat? Do you know what I'm talking about? That cartoon where he's got like one big eye and one little eye, and he's like, that's how I feel sometimes. Like, I have to put it up. Like, I don't have this calm energy. And today I'm here and I'm here and I'm there and I'm here.
Hey, did you know about that? The what? Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask the what?
I think he's talking about Tommy and Johnny's show.
Oh, yeah, I had their show playing when I didn't have anybody watching because I had misscheduled. And so when people showed up, I decided to go ahead and take up the meeting again. I started out reading from the book and said, well, nobody's here. And it's not a meeting if nobody's here. So I'll just put up the Tommy and Johnny show. And
There you go.
yeah, I was getting ready to like just go grab some water from the kitchen. And
Yeah. Well, are you guys doing good? Cosmic, are you doing good?
Yeah, how you doing today?
Everybody doing good?
Yeah.
Steve, how are you feeling?
Good.
Good.
I slept like a rock last night.
Nice. That's
Sleep one of
awesome.
the best things for you.
Oh, it really is. It really is.
Yeah, we went from 80 degrees or over, it was in the low 80s,
Mhm.
to today it's in the cold 50s. Like,
Oh, it's like 30. It's like 39 here.
That spitting that rain and
Yeah,
wind and
mist and
yeah, and the goats are
Yeah, we were in
my
the low
goats,
80s yesterday.
right
We were in
on.
the low 80s yesterday, and then right now I think it's like 60. But Michael sent me a video this morning, and they've got like 10 inches of snow where he's at, and it's still
What's
snowing.
Alaska though?
Yeah. He's like,
Wow.
I hate this. It's like,
My goats are always fussing at me when the weather's like this, as if I have some way to fix it. They are telling me I need to fix this. This is not what they want out of life right now.
Oh man. Oh, Cosmic, I'm sorry
I'm
you had the
sorry.
worst sleep. It's exhausting.
oh,
when
it
you don't
is.
sleep. It really is. It really, really is. Oh, I was going to tell you, I ordered that DBT book. It should be here on Monday.
Okay, cool.
So,
I heard a story earlier about a crazy lady who bought 2 Christmas trees.
and had fish coffee.
And had fish coffee.
What's
And
fish?
gave a 3-year-old tree to a nice lady. It's 45 here right now.
So it was not intentional. So what Steve's talking about is Wednesdays at my house get a little hinky because I go into town on Thursdays. So you never know what's going to be left. Like there's always enough food, but there might not be enough coffee or whatever. So I ran out of creamer and I wanted coffee yesterday and I couldn't find any creamer anywhere. And the only creamer I could find was this collagen peptide creamer. Now, if you're not familiar with collagen peptides, it's really good stuff for you. It's good for your hair, your skin, your nails, all of this stuff. It's made with like bone broth and omega omega acids, which come from fish and all of this. And normally it's unflavored and you just put it in your coffee and it's not a big deal. Well, I bought this huge container of it and it was French vanilla and it smelled so good, but it wasn't unflavored. So when you put it in your coffee and you stirred it up and you took a drink, you're like, that doesn't taste right. And then you got an aftertaste of fish because of the
Oh.
so my mushroom coffee tasted like fish. So I was like, and my cat, like, she ran away. Mikey was very concerned that I was okay because I'm over here like overly dramatic about my coffee. I'm like, oh, which this is also why my friends tell me if the end of the world ever happens, I'm not allowed to buy food because they refuse to drink mushroom coffee, and there should be no such thing as almond milk because you are not supposed to milk almonds.
I love almond milk.
I do too. She's just ornery. We've been friends for 46 years, 40.
Yeah, me and Steve Hartman are the same way.
Yeah, she's like, if we're dying, you're not allowed to buy the food. She's like, I am not eating organic vegan beans, whatever those are. So, and then the Christmas tree thing was, I bought a Christmas tree for out here where I film. You can't see it yet, but this big, beautiful Christmas tree. And I'm very particular. I wanted my Christmas trees to match. So I was in the store today looking at Christmas trees, and there was a person there. This lady was looking for a Christmas tree, and her budget was not conducive of buying much of anything. And so I said, you know what? I've got this old Christmas tree. It's about 3 years old. You can just have it because if I don't give it to you, it's going to, end up in a landfill somewhere. So she was very excited to get it. So I was excited to give her the Christmas tree. But then what I realized when I got in the car is that I have bought 2 brand new Christmas trees this year, and I've spent like $450 on Christmas trees.
Hey.
Just trees. Nothing else. So I was like, I don't think Michael has really seen how much is, so I'm not going to say anything
Okay.
about it.
He knows how you normally decorate, right?
Oh, he does. Yeah. I told him, I said, oh, so I bought another Christmas tree. And, and he's like, oh, okay. Cause I'm very particular. Like everything has to match. So he knows. He will kind of put it together when we put the trees in the boxes. He's like, wait a minute.
When you said another, you meant another.
Yeah. Like it was a whole big, like.
Anyway, this is what I woke up to, that audio clip. And the moral of the story is she gave the lady the tree.
Yeah, I gave the lady the tree for free. She got to have it. She was very excited.
Right on.
Well, I mean, what was I gonna do with it? I didn't want to throw it away, and she tried to, pay me, and I'm like, listen, you're doing me a much bigger favor than I'm doing you. I promise. Keeping it out of the landfill, taking it off my hands. Totally, totally worth it.
I'm excited to decorate for Christmas. I'm not excited about anything else about Christmas, but I am excited about that.
It took me a long time to get excited about Christmas. But when I moved here, I was able to get excited about decorating for Christmas.
Right on.
So, yeah.
Well, I did an impromptu thing earlier, about what I'm going to do to make my sobriety story feel more like my sobriety story instead of sobriety that I did because somebody else wanted me to.
Right.
Or because I was in a group where that wouldn't have been acceptable, and I subjected myself to that, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so, I mean, I don't get to, my birth wasn't on my terms.
There you go.
My mom wanted to have me on her birthday. So she had induced labor.
Uh-huh.
And when I wasn't coming out, they knocked her out.
And C-sectioned you.
No, there was no such a thing as C-section in Greenville, Mississippi in 1965. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
I bet they didn't even know such a thing even existed in 1965 in Mississippi.
but they still know how to make babies in Greenville, Mississippi in 1965.
Yeah, well, but yeah, and of course the husbands weren't allowed in the delivery room.
Yeah, they're outside passing cigars out in like a 1950s movie.
But they're not allowed in the delivery room in those days.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
I
was
remember
the
my
days
granny doing that.
when the husbands were not allowed in there, so they could pretty much do whatever they wanted to.
Mhm.
And they always talked about how they just thought those doctors were just so amazing that they caught it that I had a hip dislocation when I was born. And after I had my own child, natural childbirth,
Mhm.
I realized you can't, because they kept telling they knocked my mom out, telling her that she was pushing me back up into the birth canal. Probably what was happening is I'm fighting tooth and nail, like, no, let me
Right.
alone. I'm probably
Yeah.
totally holding on to not,
hey,
Right.
you were comfy. You're floating around. You're feeling good. I don't want to go anywhere.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I recognize that probably what happened after they knocked mom out is they just pushed and pulled me out and dislocated my hip in the process. Mhm.
Okay, Christy, you got to explain that one.
Fun
I
fact,
read
was
that.
first invented to help mothers having difficulty giving birth.
I read that
What?
somewhere. I don't know.
What?
Like
I
I
don't
didn't
understand.
read any
What is it?
elaboration.
Have this baby, or I'll cut you with a chainsaw, or what? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't know.
Explain, please.
So
So,
what are
yeah,
you?
I mean, even my birth was not on my terms. It's like I've that's kind of been the ongoing theme in my
Mhm.
life, is that, I wasn't ready to graduate from the first grade to the second grade,
Mhm.
but mom fought for me to be able to go to the second grade because she didn't want me to have that stigma on me. Well, it
Mhm.
turned out, in high school, all of my friends were from the grade below me.
Mm.
So, and
Whoops.
I just wasn't ready to move on. I had a learning disability, which nobody knew anything about in the 70s.
Right. Right.
And so yeah, in 71, it was like the first C-sections. Huh.
Whew.
Oh my.
Ouch.
Yeah. Chainsaw sections.
Mhm.
And mothers and babies lived to tell the tale.
Mothers tended not to. No, no
Okay.
kidding.
Yeah, there's our answer. Mothers tended.
Almost dropped an S bomb right there.
So
That's
yeah, why should my sobriety be any different? It's like I've been reluctant about almost everything major, and
Mhm.
I got shoved through the door anyway.
Mhm.
Get in there, do
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So why should my sobriety be any different? Because I mean, when ultimately it comes down to it, I don't want to relapse. I don't want to drink
Mhm.
to feel like I have a normal sobriety. Why should I have a normal sobriety? I haven't had anything normal in my life.
Right.
And what is normal anyway?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to stew on that question you asked me earlier, and you can re-ask it because Christy's here now.
Well, I was going over I was reading in the handbook here. There's 6 danger situations that have the potential to cause a relapse without there even being an urge. 1 is by association, 2 is boredom, 3 is emotions, 4 is fantasy, 5 is frustration, 6 is opportunity. And it was a time when there is seemingly no downside to acting out, and no one will know but you. Opportunity is a powerful enticement, said Steve.
And I didn't buy it. And then she said,
So if you were not in your current health situation, would that be a different scenario?
and I said, I don't know.
That's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is a legitimate question because, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is because it would be like, kind of like a crime of opportunity, even. Like, I remember, someone talking about, like, I don't remember who it was, where I seen it, but like robbing a store, sometimes it's just a crime of opportunity. You see something and you're like, oh, it's there. So
Yeah.
that's a good.
Interesting story. Steve Hartman's oldest son's wedding. I almost drank, and I told him I was almost, and I told him I was going to. He said, "It's time for you to go."
Yeah. Yeah.
That does make a lot of sense, Christy. A lot of sense. I didn't go about it in the normal way. So maybe that was my way of taking control over it,
Yeah, she makes it.
not even being aware that that's what was happening.
This is so cliche, but what is normal,
Right? Right. What is normal?
Right. Well, just because it doesn't look like everything else doesn't mean it's still not yours. Your birth story is yours. This is yours.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to approach it. So let me ask you then, that, when you were struggling before about, am I an alcoholic? Can I have a drink? Did you want to drink? Does this change how you view those questions then? Or are those questions still there for you? You just have realized that your sobriety journey looks different.
I anticipate that I will still be faced with some of that. I don't see that fully going away at this juncture in the journey. It's still there, just that, defiant little, I'm gonna do this and see for myself, that I always fall prey to that, and I always fall, usually, that kind of defiance,
You strike me as a very strong-willed person, like to a fault.
Yep. And I married a strong-willed person, so
Good.
Huh?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he'd be anybody else that did not have the strong will that he did.
You'd run roughshod over him.
I would have to work to not run roughshod over him. And who wants to do that kind of work? I don't.
I don't have the energy to do what I'm doing every day in life. Why would I? I don't want any extra baggage like that.
Right.
Speaking of marriage, I had my first old married woman thing happen. For a few times, I have suggested that we get a pool net to clean out the drinking water tanks for the animals. And then this when Steve got home, he said, we should get a pool net to scrape out the waters. And I'm like, that's a great idea, honey. I never have done that. I have always bucked up and said, look, bucko.
Or is it that you are entering into your wise mind and you're like, let him have the victory? I'm just gonna fess up right now. I do that a lot. I plant little seeds in Michael's head. And then when he, comes to this great epiphany that I want him to come to, I'm like, oh, that is such a beautiful idea. Look how
If-
smart you are. Oh my God.
I've never been that wise.
If
Until
women
today.
would only realize that if they may let us be the hero in making the decision, they could get whatever they wanted.
Oh, I realized it. How do you think
Yeah.
I ended up with two
My
crystals?
nature just won't let me, just won't let me,
Yeah.
But it did today somehow. And I was like, that's new.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think too, it's just, seeing the opportunity.
I'm guessing that's your house, Christy.
Yes, I'm gonna let you two talk. I'm gonna put it on mute and just let him go for a minute. I know it's the neighbor across the street.
Well, Cosmic Christie says, I watched the video this morning of the journal read. I feel like you're being so hard on yourself, but as you asked, I don't have a solution for you, but will also listen, always listen. Thank you, Christy.
Of course.
That's really all I need. A lot of us need, a lot of the times, is just a sounding board, just to hear ourselves say it. Sometimes it just hits different when we hear ourselves say it.
And also my marriage got infinitely better when I learned to ask the question, is this something that you need me to help you solve, or do you just want to just blast? And if she says, no, I just need to blast, and then I'm good, because, we want to fix everything, fix it so it's better. And when I learned how to ask that question, that saved infinite number of arguments.
Right on. Yeah. A lot of the conflict that comes up in our marriage, I could probably deflect more than I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's, I know for me, when I really dig in, it's because I'm not feeling heard. So it doesn't, for me, come from a defiant place. It did when I was younger. Like, I was very defiant when I was younger. And when I was married to my ex-husband, oh man. But as I look back on it now, it's more, I wasn't feeling heard. I wasn't feeling valued. And when I am not feeling heard and not feeling valued, that's when I really use my voice. And I'm like, you will listen to me. Like, I will nag you forever until you listen to me. And then, now this time I've realized that the difference is I don't have to do that. There's so much more calmness in me when I'm just like, you know what? Okay. And just walk away, because that's me having control over my emotions and really having control over the situation, and if somebody chases after you to fight with you in that, then you've got a whole other slew of issues, which fortunately Michael does not do. But that's how it is for me. I had to kind of
Frodo did end up listening to Samwise in the end, so.
I mean, it's funny. I asked Michael the other day. He really made me mad. He had to apologize, and I'm like, okay, but now you have to say nice things about me, because that's just how this goes. and he goes, and I thought this was sweet. He goes, I really love the way that you talk to me. It's like I love the way that you just speak to me in general, how you treat me. And I was like, oh, that was really sweet.
Aw.
And
situation diffused.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So Christy says that my thing sounds like oppositional defiance disorder, which I have. I won't do as I'm told. I'll do the opposite. Yeah, that's pretty much how I've been my whole life.
Well, that was me trying to politely say that. I just, when I said you seem like a strong-willed person.
Yeah. Sometimes it's really good to let people figure things out for themselves.
Right. I agree.
Well,
and that's a new way of thought. That's a new line of thought for me too.
And if you think about it, you're empowering empowering the other person instead of just, walking in and like, I will do it for you. You're teaching the other person, or showing them, not teaching them, that I trust you and I value what you come up with, and and you're giving them that. So
Yeah.
What,
it is
one time I was, all right, what do I got to do to diffuse this? Tell me, please, because I don't want to argue. I don't have the strength. And she said, you're going to have to figure this one out on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because it doesn't mean anything if somebody's constantly telling you how to fix it. At what point do you figure it out for yourself? I mean, I've done that with my kids. I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, I got the answer, but you're going to have to figure it out on your own.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
And I came up with something. I don't remember what it was.
Well, did it work? Was it the right something?
Well, I mean, we're still married, so yeah. And she's put up with a lot, way more than I have. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
So other than being exhausted, how are you?
Oh yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, no, sorry, excuse the mess in the background. My cleaners are away for like 10 days, so
That's not a mess.
Yeah, it's not a mess.
oh, it
I
feels
can tell
really.
you a mess in there.
Oh god,
I wish my mess looked that good.
Oh, it's just I can't handle clutter. It gets me like, I don't know, tidy house, tidy mind type thing is how I work. I try.
Okay.
So clutter kind of makes my mind feel messy, and right now I'm walking around the house going, I hate all of it because it's not my mess.
Oh, yeah.
So, but there's no one home that can hear me complain about them, so it's all good. Yeah, no, but no, I'm all good. I actually, I think I said it yesterday. Like, I'm getting used to this feeling happy again, which is strange. I cried about it this morning.
Wow.
Right about being happy.
Yeah, no, I'm so emotional. I tend to, I'm super rational, but I tend to live in my emotional mind a lot. And I was just like crying because I felt happy. Like this person had affected my life.
Oh, so it was happy tears about being happy.
Yeah, it was happy tears. Like it was like,
Hang on.
yeah, like I was like, oh my gosh, like it was like, I actually feel happy about things for the first time this whole year.
Wow.
So, yeah,
A long year.
it's been a long year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, well, actually, that's what my little sign here is. It's like my little rainbow sign is support for my daughter, Pride. But that's been my motto: fuck around, find out.
Oh, I say that all the time.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
Yeah, but that's been what this year has been. It's like that's what people have. I've done that. Like I've effed around and I've found out, and so have other people who affected my life in a negative way. And I'm no longer, as I'm no longer a victim to that situation anymore. I'm now feeling like I'm a survivor of it, rather than it letting me affect me so negatively every day. So yeah, so it's good. Like and also like I'm not an addiction survivor yet, but actually that is something to be to look forward to.
Yes.
So yeah.
Some people
if
have
you're
thought
not actively using right this second, you're an addiction survivor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still struggling to not relapse. I'm in a lapse phase.
Then you're a survivor.
Yeah. So but I've got such a support network around me that they help. So incredibly lucky.
So what do you think you need to go ahead and not drink? You're working at this. You're working harder than anybody I know.
Right.
I think a lot of it's willpower, and like saying before boredom. There was a large part of one of the reasons why I was drinking, because like
Okay.
my whole reason for being my daughter left, and I get really emotional when I talk about
Hey, that's
You're
okay.
okay. You're okay.
my daughter. Yeah, so she was like my hyper focus, and now she's gone. Like I've had nothing to do except for just sit around and drink, and but now
Well,
I've got a job, so
that's
um,
that's a natural reaction for someone who struggles with alcohol. I mean, that's that you. I'm not. I can almost go so far as to say you probably didn't do anything wrong. If that's the way you dealt with your daughter leaving, then so what? But you're surviving now.
yeah. Well, I actually survived being her mother, so that's an amazing achievement.
Wow.
No, she's great. I love her, and she's independent now. So I'm super proud. Like we may be disconnected, but it just shows that at least I did something right throughout her life to let her become.
No parent gets it 100% wrong. They don't get it 100% right, but they don't get it 100% wrong either.
That's true.
Yeah, no, but I'm so proud. Like with both my kids, my son's now got this traineeship and he's happy. Like he says, like he's not depressed anymore. Because he's doing something. He feels like he's contributing. He's helping a food bank build gardens. So yeah.
Wow.
So he's just like
Amazing.
things are turning around, and it's just like it's taken until what is it now, November, but
That's okay.
but because once December 1st starts, that's Christmas. Until yeah,
All
I
right.
thought the whole month is
And
Christmas.
what does that mean? What's Christy month look like?
Christmas, like Christmas.
Oh,
I like that. I might know that.
Well, it's and I just because my birthday is New Year's Eve, and I used to just have like the week, the day after Christmas was Christmas, like the week. But I've turned it into the whole month. Whole month is my month now.
Yeah, Steve must doesn't really work.
I mean,
Well,
people
there's
do
gotta
sing
be-
carols, but other than that, yeah.
Oh, one night, Christmas Eve.
There you go.
Eve. All right, I'll take that.
Christmas Eve, exactly like Christmas Eve. That's
I love it.
yeah. So, but it's just like I just spend the whole month. Well, I used to spend the whole month celebrating by drinking and just partying and just enjoying all that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna have to figure out something else. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have a plan in place for doing something this year?
Well, I'm actually because I've now got this job, which is to do with disabilities, because I'm someone who has them. I'm actually going to be a support coordinator for one of my most little favorite people in the world, because I'm super good at research, and I did this I've done it as a job basically since I took care of my children. I've been their support coordinators, which just means I'm someone, instead of doing the support work, because I don't have the ability to be a support worker, I just don't think I could handle it. I'm like the spider in the web that brings in all the supports, like pediatricians and all that sort of stuff. I find all that sort of thing.
Okay.
And I harass them.
I'm not surprised about that spider in the web thing with you. You seem very, very self-aware to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's something my therapist says all the time. You're so self-aware. I'm like, well, I've been living with myself for a very long time, so thank you. but it's just like, it's going to give me it's like I've already this morning been looking at pediatricians and all that sort of stuff, and I'm going to make a call once they open and see if they can access it through their funding, through the government and all that sort of stuff. But it's just like, this is like what I do, research, and so now I've got something to do. And once I build up my client base, I'll be able to help more people and do what I'll be paid for what I've been unpaid for. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, because I actually just, one of the reasons why I cried this morning, because I was just thinking, I've actually got a job. Like, I've been a stay-at-home mum since my kids were little.
Okay.
And then this thing happened with my daughter, and it took away my functional capacity. And then, but now I can get it back because this is something that I can do. I know I can do this, and I'm really, really quite excited because it was actually my goal in the first place was to become a support coordinator.
Okay.
And, yeah, so I'm just like super excited, and actually to be asked by these people who are my best friends to be the support coordinator for their child shows that they trust me to do it. Like I'm the go-to girl for, I'm basically called Google in my group because like if they need information, I'll be like, give me a sec.
So let me get this straight. Both of your kids are successful. You are currently sober. You just landed your dream job and you're happy.
Yes.
What in the world?
How awesome is that?
I wish I was that happy.
Oh, well,
awesome.
I've got to say it's a strange feeling. I'm still getting used to it. That's why I'm not, because I'm used to being super like high anxiety constantly. I'm still got the anxiety thing, but like I'm down to minimal Valium. Like I started off at 10 a day, when I was doing detox, and now I may go days without having it because generally for now I'm using it for anxiety. My doctor says that I have to stop being so hard on myself that I need Valium at the moment. I'm going to ask for something that's not that can do the same. That's not a drug of addiction because it just feels like going from one to another.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's something out there that's for anxiety that will help. That's not benzo, so because my doctor says because I go in there and I'm like, I'm really sorry, I need to get some more because I can't handle the day, and she's like, you got to stop being so hard on yourself. You're using it in the appropriate way, which is right now PRN, I think they call it, like when needed.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not like I wake up in the morning and I have to pop 2 Valiums anymore. It's just like if I know that I'm going to have a stressful moment, anxiety is going to overtake me, I'll have it beforehand so that I don't have that.
I do the exact same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. So, but sometimes even just knowing that I've got them stops the panic attack because I know that, I've got, if I can't use my tools of DBT and counseling, I do have that backup. It's there. So a lot of times it actually stops the panic attack, just knowing that I've got it there if I need it.
Well,
I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because, I guess you could say I'm pretty strong-willed as well. It's just that when I've been in my power is when I tend to lose people.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, but if you're in your power and you're being healthy and you're losing people, you're losing the unhealthy people.
Well, that's how I like to think about it now. But before it was just like everybody leaves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Krista's got it.
Yeah. So, but I'm doing much better, and it's only been hitting me over the last couple of days that I am, and this type of community type group, the Lifeboat, being part of that, and it's SPTV. I got my SPTV bracelet yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's just like it's just like having community is something that's really important.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's almost paramount when you're trying to be when you want to be in recovery.
Yeah.
Community is huge.
And also having community who have been through similar helps, because I'm the only alcoholic of my group. I used to be called the party one. Now I'm the alcoholic, which is fine. But nobody else has the same. None of my friends quite know what it's like to be an alcoholic, and having someone here who is similar is actually really helpful. But knowing that people are out there who are the same is makes sense. I think in that sense is why people keep going back to AA rather than it being an actual helpful thing.
Yeah.
It's just sense of community, you know.
Yeah.
So, but
And I believe, Tommy says, the opposite of addiction is
Attraction,
Connection.
truth.
connection.
Truth. You don't want to, when you have really let people into your world, you don't want to disappoint. You don't want to, you want to be strong to help them be strong,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but it's good because my friends are also, they're actually in the disability industry and all that sort of stuff. So they work with people who are like me.
Yeah.
It's just I actually give them insight about sometimes, it's not always a choice. And
Right.
yeah, it's not always a choice. Sometimes it is a disease, as I said. It's not always a choice.
Rigid thinking when talking about eating disorder. No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe I do, and I just don't understand it. Is that something that someone said to you? Like you have?
Is that like ARIFD, which is food avoidant restricted eating disorder? It's like so yeah, it's like a food avoidant restricted food eating disorder, something like that. So where it's a type of eating disorder where you restrict your diet.
So you've never heard rigid thinking?
Well, I mean, rigid.
Part of ARIFD is rigid thinking because you will set yourself that you're only allowed to eat this particular food, this a particular amount. It's like that's the avoidant and restrictive part of it. It's yeah. So it's not like I have it, but a lot of it's due to sensory issues. Like I can't eat a lot of foods because of the sensation of it. So, but it's like yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that's rigid about eating disorder because you're rigid. It is rigid thinking because you restrict yourself or you do things that with food that is rigid, I guess. So I guess it does make sense there.
Let me look it up real quick because cognitive rigidity found in women with anorexia. Did someone say, full of hope, did someone say that you had that or?
No, full of hope asked in the chat.
Yeah. Let me see. Yes, I haven't eaten really since April. The psychologist says I now have entered into rigid thinking. Like I see food. Oh, okay. So it's a cognitive thing. It's how you're associating it. Okay. Yeah. Let me kind of that does make a lot of sense. Because food when you're anorexic can be very, very scary to you. I mean, it's almost like if you eat it, you become very afraid of the consequences of that. Are you bulimic as well? Or are you just that controlled in what you're putting into your or not putting into your body?
See, alcohol is just the opposite. The first few are great.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Full of hope. I have to say, I actually understand. I get that because I used to be 140 kilos when my children were first born, and I got down to 45 because I didn't eat. I just walked a lot and I didn't eat, and so now I don't have the ability to feel hungry, and I wonder if that's something to do with rigid thinking because I was pretty rigid about it. Like I'm not eating because I am this weight, like. And I've kept up that thinking throughout. Like food to me is like, if I keep eating, then I'm going to get back to where I was when I don't want to be at that point. So, but yeah, I don't know what it's like. I don't feel hunger, and so I can go days and days without eating, without even recognizing, and I have to. I actually have to go to my carer's place to eat because once it gets harder and harder to eat the longer I leave it. So I'm not sure if if you just need to, that's something that's pretty, I actually relate.
So what do they have a way to help you with the food getting stuck in the esophagus? Is there a solution there, or is it just a matter of just continuing to remind the muscles how to deal with food? Or
There's speech therapy. Like, apparently speech therapy is actually, that's one of the reasons why I need to go to speech therapy, to teach myself how to eat again, because that's exactly right. It feels like I can't swallow it. Like, I can chew it till the end of the earth, but I can't swallow it. It won't go down. But speech pathology is meant to help with that. I'm not sure how, I've been told. So it's just like I've got to learn that. I guess, like, if you really aren't eating, there's feeding tubes.
Full of hope. My biggest concern is, when was the last time that you did eat? Because you said you don't want to eat at all. Are you not wanting to eat because the food is getting stuck, or are you not wanting to eat because you're scared of food? And it's not weird that you haven't told them.
Alcoholic stopped 30 years ago.
okay,
That's good.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm just. Are they wanting to give you any IV fluids or any nutrients that way? Because you're going to
normally
get.
do it through the nasal tube, especially if they haven't been eating for a long time.
Yeah.
They snaked a tube down my nose and throat when I couldn't eat at first. After I got my my heart pump, I couldn't eat, and I don't remember why, but I ended up getting a tube snaked down into my stomach, and they force fed me that way. So, but I can't imagine doing that to somebody who's healthy otherwise.
Oh, well, when I was I've been in psychology wards, mental health wards, and generally that's what they'll do to people who are there for anorexia, because they treat it as a mental health problem over here. It's not just a physical problem.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do everywhere. I'm pretty sure it's in the DSM or whatever they call that thing. But it's just, it was pretty. It's a pretty traumatic thing, and if you can have liquids, there are drinks like Sustagen. I'm not sure if you have Sustagen over there. It's like full of nutrients and
I don't know what that is.
and all that sort of stuff. You can go to the chemist, and it's like you mix up a drink, and you can either have it with milk or water, depending on whichever you prefer. But it gives you nutrients. It gives your body the nutrients to survive, without having to go on the tube, and it's liquid. So if you can drink, it's a lot easier. But for me, I still had to get past the fact that I'm still putting nutrients into my body. So, but it was the only way. Like, in hospital, it was the only way I could get food, and that's when I learned I had an eating disorder, because they would watch me and sit there with me until I'd finished at least my Sustagen, and like I couldn't eat the vegetables, and it had nothing to do with the badness of the food. Like, I love vegetables. It was the fact I just couldn't do it.
Okay, so full of hope. There's a few things here that concern me. No, it is not. It is not too much information. It is not too much information. The reason that they're not concerned is because you haven't, and I understand why. But if you haven't told them, they're not getting the full picture. And when they're not getting the full picture, they're not able to best help you as best as they can. The problem is, full of hope, that the longer that you go without eating, your body is going to start eating itself, and you are going to do irreparable damage to your body that cannot be that cannot be fixed. And I understand completely about being anxious about food. It is very, very scary to put something into your body that you are afraid of. And anorexia is not just body dysmorphia. It is a deep rooted fear of food. And it is very, very hard to put that into your body. And I'm so sorry that you are going through this, because it is a very, very hard thing to go through. With everything that's going on, your anorexia could be flaring up. Your anorexia could be flaring up because of all of these other things that you have going on: borderline personality disorder, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and bipolar. Are you taking your medications regularly? One of the things that you can do also is Boost or Ensure. Boost is really good. It's something that you can drink. Please tell them everything that's going on, okay? Because
Right.
this is I get the feeling from your energy, you're extremely anxious. It feels like my whole body is on fire right now. Try eating some peanut butter on a cracker if you can do that. You're probably eating low fat, very low calorie, everything. You're probably getting like the least amount of anything that you can. When is the next time that you go see your therapist, or do you see them in person? Have they actually like seen you?
I have to say, like, Full of Hope sounds very similar to me. Like, I have BPD, PPTSD, PTSD, and I was diagnosed as bipolar, but they found out that that's actually it was undiagnosed autism, and a lot of the symptoms that she's describing sounds very similar to me, because like people with autism or ADHD, they have a higher rate of actually becoming addicted or having eating disorders or that sort of stuff. So I'm not saying she's not bipolar. I'm just saying maybe also get a see if I don't know how expensive it is to get diagnoses and all that sort of stuff, but actually being treated for autism as well as bipolar can actually be really, really helpful, and it may explain a lot of things that are unexplainable right now on the spectrum. Yes.
Okay.
Full of Hope. That's how it was with me. It was the only thing I could control in life. It's good that you're taking your meds. I'm glad that you're taking it. Like you said, have you gone into in-person therapy? Are you doing it online, like with the camera off? It's a lot, and it's a coping mechanism for you at this point. And you're right to do that. Try eating some peanuts. I mean, gosh, I know that it is so hard to put any food into your body right now.
I like that Ensure idea.
Yeah.
When I in my early pregnancy, I was so heartbroken that I was having trouble eating, but I knew I had a baby growing inside of me. And so I used to just throw a bunch of stuff in a blender and blend it till it was liquid and hold my nose and pour it in. But I do eggs and oats and raw milk and just anything like that's had a lot of good food value to it.
I find eggs, if I'm really struggling to eat, I'll poach an egg.
Yeah.
And then, because I'm really good at, that's one thing I can do really well, is I do perfect poached eggs. So I'll poach an egg. But if I just try and eat stuff that I actually really enjoy, instead of it being just, nutrients, I'll have something like fish or a salad, stuff I actually really enjoy eating, instead of But also soup is also, soup in a can. I love soup in a can. Yeah,
good comfort food.
Full of
Yeah.
hope. Where are you at that ensures prescription?
Prescription only. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Because we can buy it at Walmart here. If you can't get Ensure, get Boost. If you can do that, those are things we can get here in the States. Basically, what it is it's a lot of Ensure. No, don't go. You're fine.
We won't talk about food anymore.
Yeah, we'll stop. I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm so glad that you reached out. That was very, very brave to admit that you were struggling like that. And you can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. And you can reach out to me and I'll give you my number and you can call me if you need to.
We are here to help each other as well as get help. But helping each other is so much more important.
Yeah.
And
when it's time to stop,
we'll talk about goats or whatever.
Oh, have you seen fainting goats?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they're the cutest.
I think we've talked about this before, but I just I want a fainting goat, but I don't think I should because I'd be bordering on animal cruelty because I'd be like at it all the time.
Can you house train a house train a goat like to go out to
God, I wish.
I don't
Carol?
know. I don't know about that. I think if you have a goat in the house, you just got to be prepared to clean up after it.
Yeah, and I mean they're kind of destructive too, aren't they? Like they kind of.
Oh yeah. There's no way I'm letting any of my goats in my house.
No.
I also learned that
they scratch and they
yeah.
I understand you can house train pigs.
Yeah, pigs are very smart.
Yeah, they're basically like dogs, but smarter.
Yeah,
and delicious.
Yeah, I learned that goats can get yeast, or like something to do with like if they eat a whole loaf of bread, it's really bad for them, and you have to give them yogurt. I was looking at after a friend's goat, and it got onto my deck, and I was about to put this loaf of bread into the bin because it was old, and then it ate the entire thing, including the plastic. I'm thinking maybe it's the plastic that made it sick. It wasn't the bread. It's not my fault. But it's just like, yeah, no, they'll eat anything.
Yeah.
And they love washing on the washing line. Yeah, they're like, oh, look, there's a towel. I'll eat that.
Interesting fact, when any of us got put on KP duty, you got dishes. And it wasn't peeling potatoes. We got take the plates, scrape the food off into one hole, and put the silverware and stuff where it's supposed to go. And local farmers would come around and buy that slop for their pigs. Mm-hmm. I mean, napkins and all right in there. And I don't know, it kind of grossed me out, but I didn't know that existed until I couldn't keep my mouth shut.
More selective on that. My pigs are grazer. I mean, we feed him stuff too. I buy him a pig food, but he's a little bit picky. He's picky on the grasses that he eats and everything.
I gotta imagine that's just for raising hogs for slaughter, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, over here I think we're allowed to do grain, and like they're limited about like there's not allowed to be animal product in for the animals.
It's not a good idea to feed. They will eat it, but it's not a good idea for them to be eating a lot of animal stuff. And they probably hold up some here and there. Who knows how or why? But
that's how mad cow disease happened. Is because they were feeding cows.
Yeah, my pig has a sixth sense for when there's still food left in Petey's bowl. And as soon as I let him out, he goes straight for that bowl.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's intense about it.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about food again. I'm so sorry, Full of Hope, if you're still here. I apologize.
well, yeah, so they're it's my fault, I think. But yeah, but
No,
it's
it
just
was
like
mine.
I love goats. I want a pygmy goat, but tequila.
There can be a little bit of stinkers.
Yeah, I know they're pretty, but I already have a little stinker right now, and my dog. She's actually grounded. She's outside at the moment because she's been using the house because she doesn't like wet grass, so she'll go outside. I'll let her outside, and she'll be like, "Go outside, nah," and then like half an hour later, I'll find something inside, like a little barker's nest, as we call them, or something like that. It's just like, I'm just like, no, you're outside now for the next couple of days. I can't deal. Because but it's just like, so she's grounded right now. But I'd love a pygmy goat. I know they're little rat bags, but they're so cute.
I know the videos of them are hilarious.
Yeah, they jump on trampolines and stuff. So
And a good goat scream will make me cry. I laugh so hard.
oh, I love that one that goes. Have you seen that on YouTube?
Yeah, that's for the most part. That's a buck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like they put it into a Taylor Swift song.
They're just feeling themselves, and they're all like,
I just think they're amazing, and I'm like, what do you call it? Like Chinese astrology, I'm a goat, and in regular astrology, I'm a goat. So I am a goat. So one's a mountain goat and one's a regular plain goat. So they're completely opposite in general terms. But yeah, I'm goat, like greatest of all time.
Okay.
You're a Capricorn?
Yeah, I'm Capricorn. New Year's Eve. So yeah.
Okay, you guys guess me.
Virgo.
No.
I'm terrible at this game.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it, to be honest.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to get, like, based on personality. It's kind of
Center of attention, talks.
Leo.
As
soon as you said center of attention,
say Leo. I don't know why.
My daughter's a Leo.
Yeah.
I've got a Leo.
I'm the horse on the Chinese menu, which is proud and pretty and
it's a good one. I like it's better than, like, I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel if I was born in the year of the rat. I'd be like ripped off, but I like rats. I love rats.
ripped off. I don't know if you have noticed this or not, but I use humor as a defense mechanism. Just throwing that out there.
right?
So do I. Yeah, I've gotten pretty dark. But see, I never punch down. So I only ever joke about things that affect me because then I know that I have that right. So, there's, like, my friends are Indigenous Australians, like Aboriginal Australians. So I'm not allowed to make jokes about them being Indigenous Australians, whereas they're allowed to make all the jokes they want. But yeah, it's just like, that's my limit. I don't, if I've got it, I can joke about it. But if I don't, then I won't, because it feels like punching down.
Yeah.
See, I joke about me. I pick on myself a lot. I mean, not pick on myself, but I tell funny stories.
I joke about. I don't glorify my stories. I don't glorify I do joke about, like, the time I've woken up in a dumpster or something like that, but it's because some of it's just dang funny. But I don't glorify the behavior at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes it's like, if you don't laugh, you cry. So it's better to make a joke about it, and if it's your situation, you have every right to deal with it however you want to deal with it. And if you want to make comedy out of it, then make comedy out of it.
Right on.
So, but yeah, it's just, I'm just trying to look for this meme that I got tagged in yesterday because it's exactly me. It's about, I don't know, turning my trauma into a comedy stand-up comedy act. Because that's basically, I'm sitting around going like, blah, 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 making everyone laugh, and they don't even know if they're allowed to laugh. And I'm like, it's okay because I'm making the joke, so laugh.
Yeah. Well, I always tell Root anytime I send a story, I'm like, it's okay to laugh at this.
Yeah. If I'm laughing, it's okay if you laugh.
She does say that, by the way.
I really do. I'm like, it's okay to laugh at this. You're gonna find this funny. But
Sorry, I can't seem to type in the thing, but I'll just say 3.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm good too. Yeah, yeah. I think it's.
Okay.
And I know I got to use my phone for typing, and I can't type on Restream. I can't interact with chat.
No, it just says private chat on my end, and
That's why I got my phone.
You don't have a row on the end that shows just regular chat?
I have the
No,
comments.
I get the comments, but not any place where you can inject a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just log in on 2 accounts.
Yeah, that's what I do. My laptop and my phone.
Yeah, one of these days I want to see what what you guys is in looks like. I've been trying to get Steve to log in, but anyway, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, don't go into those weeds.
Well, I'm just curious.
No, but I mean, don't go into why he won't do it. Just
yeah, yeah.
Taking a photo, please.
I am. Everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because it is.
See, now I never would have thought of that in a million years.
I screenshot and picture everything.
I do too. I do too.
I don't even know how to screenshot.
Oh, that's like the first thing I learned.
It's generally it's the on button and the home button, but I don't know. That's on an iPhone. I've only got an iPhone, but
I've got a the homey phone. What's it called?
I have an Android, and on mine, I just take 3 fingers and put it on the screen and hold it down, and it screenshots.
See, I'm jealous about that. I have to push buttons, but I can do it on my watch too. Like I'm screenshotting things on my watch, and I can drive along and take a photo of just using my watch.
Hey, it worked! The 3-finger thing worked.
Try
I'm
it.
I just took a screenshot of this.
That's amazing.
Jealous.
Now, yeah, it doesn't work on iPhone. Plus, we also have swipe text, which I know you guys on iPhone can have, but you have to download an app for it. But
I can't get it. I'm constantly I'm just with swipe. I'm like, and it comes up.
Oh my
with
gosh,
really
Christy, I love you.
Yeah, well, now you know how to screenshot.
Now,
I wish I could do. I'm gonna have to get Android. I've only just got a new iPhone. Yeah.
I'm gonna be screenshotting the crap out of stuff now.
Nice.
You can. I don't know if you're into memes. I mean, I'm a meme queen, but if you get into a group and you want to save a picture, you generally just hold your finger on it and then you can save, and that should be with Android as well.
Okay.
So,
I don't know how to make a meme.
yeah.
I don't know. Just
My wife shows me one more meme about a cat. I'm gonna
No worries, Seven Son. I'm glad
throw
to see
my
you.
esophagus up.
Hi, Seven.
How
Yeah,
are
no,
you
I
That
love
might have
memes.
been my fault. I misscheduled. My autopilot brain kicked on and I automatically typed in 440 just out of habit, old habit. And so I apologize because it's probably my fault that you missed.
7th, how are you feeling today?
Yeah. How are you?
I spoke to him for an hour and he seems to be in good spirits.
Good.
Good. Good.
We don't mean to talk about you like you're not in the room.
He knows better. We spoke at length and we really, he said I sound like a therapist sometimes. I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad, but
Everybody needs a little therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think everybody sounds good then. At that point.
Yeah, hopeful of hope is okay.
Are you good? 2 or 3 in the chat. Let us know if you need a meeting, Steve. 7th Son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. My phone is not working today.
he said his brother was 87 years old and he's 57.
Ooh.
Wow. That's
So
a
he's
huge-
the 9th of 9 kids.
Whoa.
I know. That blew my mind today.
One of my exes was one of 8.
Wow.
Yeah, he was 20 years older than me. But yeah, he's the one I'm not allowed to talk about. But yeah, I don't think. Sometimes I feel like some problems are caused by large families because I don't. Me personally, I know I could only manage maybe 2, maybe 3 kids before I start thinking like thing 1, thing 2, before I start not knowing.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, it's just like because
Everybody loves that Dr. Seuss reference.
I'm sure there are parents out there who have the ability to give each and every one of those many children they have all the attention they need, but it tends to be that the older children end up looking after the younger children. And
No, that's true. I'm the oldest.
Well, see, I'm one of 5, so I'm one in the middle. So
7 kids.
That's amazing. So there is such a thing.
Yeah, he said yesterday there was. We ordered. I ordered a big DBT book that my psychiatrist friend recommended to go through things. But you are gonna love it.
Amazing.
What?
Look at that.
And we'll have to compare. We'll have to see like what my book says versus like what your book says. Like if it says the same things. So awesome.
it's probably similar, just dumbed down.
Hey,
We
awesome.
like dumbed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the easier it is to understand, the better it is, I reckon. Without all these big.
Yeah.
From somebody who didn't know how to take a screenshot, dumbed down is pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm so glad that you got that. 7th. That is awesome. That is awesome. You're gonna love it. That's important.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Did you get to the pharmacy today? His son was supposed to take him, and I don't know if he got there. He's typing. Oh well.
I heard that in America they have drive-through pharmacies.
They do.
Do you know what they have? Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't. In Ohio, which is about 3 hours from where I live, they have drive-through like gas stations / liquor stores. You don't even have to get out of your car. Like it's just you drive through. They will hand you your candy bar, your soda, whatever you want. I had never seen anything like that in my life.
In South Texas,
You have to have a special license for it.
I can't. It doesn't fathom to me that they would sell alcohol at a drive.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if they still have them in there or not, but in southern Louisiana, they used to have drive-through daiquiri places. I don't know if they still do or not, but
Well, we have drive-through tobacco shops, which I still and not everywhere, but it's just like you just drive up and drive through, and
in South Texas,
we had those
great
too.
little market. It was just these little dome things that you would just drive under, and somebody was waiting there, and you just tell them pick out the things on the shelf that you needed, including like milk and bread, and that was cool.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds kind of like the Jetsons.
Now
we have drones delivering orders, like Uber orders now. I saw a couple the other day. I'm like, what are they? They look like tiny baby helicopters. And my support worker was like, oh no, they're drones. They just
if they've got drones, maybe they'll deliver out here now.
Right.
I can't get any delivery out here. I'm just too far out.
Me either. I was joking around. I said, I need to start like Christie's country, delivery or something like that, and like bring the good food out to everybody who's far away. I'll charge you an arm and a leg for it, but
Well, I actually started thinking about becoming a because I'm pretty what's the word? I have a lot of spare time at the moment. Well, until I start this thing, I was thinking about becoming one of those Uber Eats drivers.
Okay.
Yeah, because like a lot of times I'm not really good with people. I don't like meeting new people and all that sort of stuff. But they don't actually talk. They just say, "Here, this is you. Hand it over, and then bye." So I'll be like, and sometimes you just leave it at the door. You don't have to talk to them.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Leisure needs a lot of prayer or positive vibes.
Okay.
He is in a detox hospital right now.
Oh.
And he hasn't gone to the bathroom in 7 days.
Oh dear. Out.
Yeah. And and I also spoke to him this morning.
Okay.
And he sounded great until he had to talk to this nurse he was from a prison, and he just got him. He went from 1 to 10.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll let's definitely keep him in our thoughts. And yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
At our meetings when we can, we usually like to end it with a moment of silence for the person who's still out suffering in their addiction, those who are struggling to recover because we know that's real, and also those we've loved and lost, followed by the serenity prayer or meditation or however you like to think of it. Grant me the serenity
Grant me the serenity
to accept the things I cannot change,
to accept the things I cannot change,
courage to change the things I can,
courage to change the things I can,
and wisdom to know the difference.
And wisdom.
To know the difference. Amen.
He got his stuff, Steve.
Oh, good.
Good. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go to the barn and
Well, and I might see y'all on the boat if you're.
I'll be on the boat. I volunteered for the late night shift.
go on the boat myself. We'll see. Those guys have been fussing at me all day though, so we'll see. They might
Peace.
take a risk.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay.